Welcome back to the Experience Franklin County, Indiana podcast, where each week we take a look at the people, places, and events that make Franklin County, Indiana such an amazing place. You know, we're so fortunate to have so many great artisans right here in Franklin County, Indiana. And this week we're going to be talking with one of them. And I want to throw out, if you are an artisan based in Franklin County, Indiana, we would love to interview you. Just reach out to us through our website or through our social media channels, and we will schedule an interview. Well, today we're with one of our Franklin County artisans. We are so fortunate here in Franklin County, Indiana, to have such an artistic community. We're here with Jonna Asher, who has been known as the Ornament Gal for quite some time. Jonna, thank you for taking time out of your schedule to visit today.
Oh, no problem.
So let's talk for a minute. Your family has a pretty long history in Franklin County, don't you?
Yeah, my parents came down and opened a store in the mid 80s. I think 1985 or 86, something like that. I can't really remember right now, but we've been here a long time.
And if I recall correctly, folks that have been visiting Franklin County for a long time, or maybe are natives, you guys had the caboose in town.
Yep. When my parents bought the store, there was the old caboose that stood right in front of the store, and they sold funnel cakes and elephant ears out of it. My parents did, and someone else did. But yeah, that was a big landmark. And unfortunately, it had to be torn down because of dry rot. It could no longer be used. So it was a sad day.
I'm sure that was a landmark that was gone. But you've seen a lot of changes in Franklin County, I'm sure, in the past. Gosh, that's, roughly 40 years.
Yeah, yeah. It's over. A lot of mine and my sister's lives have been down here. I previously had a store in Nashville, Indiana for a while. And then I just came down and sort of my father's health started to fail. And one day he just said he was retiring, and I was taking over the store. So that's what happened. And he passed away about 10 years ago. And my mother, she wanted to continue to have the store, and that was what they wanted for me. And I was okay with it. So now my sister and I own the store, and we're going to give it a go, keep it going.
Well, very good. Well, I mentioned you were the ornament gal, and we'll get into that in a couple of minutes. Did you know you had an artistic talent from an early age, or is that something you kind of developed, or maybe a combination of both?
My grandmother on my mom's side she used to draw little animals and things for me. When I would go visit, we would draw, and she encouraged me to draw. And she used to I would go up there. They lived in Winchester. I would go up there for a week or two during the summer, and she always had plenty of those paint by number kits for me to do.
Oh, of course. I remember those from childhood.
Yeah. So, and then I got older. She discovered Bob Ross on the TV, and we would watch Bob Ross together. We didn't paint, but we would discuss what he did. So that's really how I got started in art, from when I was a baby.
I love that you and your grandmother watched Bob Ross together. That just kind of warms my heart to hear that story. And so you do ornaments and lots of other artwork. We'll talk about that again in a minute or two. But you mentioned having a shop in Nashville before you came to Franklin County. What did you do there?
Well, I made crafts. I was known as a wreath maker there.
Oh my
I
goodness.
made all sorts of wreaths. And we also had candy. We made chocolate covered strawberries, caramel apples. So those were the two main things we had in our store, and then for a while.
And now you're in Metamora here in Franklin County, and the two things I'm most familiar with are your pet portraits and your ornaments. And of course, as a big animal lover, I love your pet portraits. When did you start doing that?
I started doing those about 10 years ago. Someone asked me to draw their pet on an ornament. And I said, oh, I don't know if I can do that, but I give it a try. So that's really how I started in pet portraiture, was on ornaments. And then someone said, well, I really don't want an ornament. Can you just do a drawing? And that sort of took off So I've shipped those all over the United States and have made some really good animal friends from that. We keep in touch. So unfortunately, it's usually an animal that's passed on
Right.
and I hear their stories, but it brings people together. I've made a lot of friends through these portraits.
It does. And I'm sure that having that reminder of the pet that was such a big part of their lives, I'm sure that's got to be a source of comfort to them. So, I mean, you're really doing a great service. And when you do a pet portrait, is that canvas? Is it paper? Is it a note card, or does it vary?
I do pet portraits on ornaments and on paper, drawing paper that I like to do. And I do them in black and white. Occasionally I'll do them in color, but I prefer to do them in pencil.
And we'll add links, but I'm assuming the process is somebody will contact you and say, "Hey, I would like a picture of my cat," for example, and
Yeah,
you'll have them send you a photograph, and you'll just go from there.
yeah.
Awesome. And how about Christmas ornaments? That's because, and believe it or not, we're getting into Christmas ornament season already. Here it is, the end of September. It's time to start thinking about it. How did you get started doing that?
I did a few back in Brown County, and then I just put it aside for a while. And then because of the Christmas walk is so big here, I wanted to take advantage of that. So I started making a few Metamora ones or just some general snowman ones. And then I decided to try them on Etsy. And that's where they really took off. I sell on Etsy and Amazon. I sell mostly snowmen, and they are doing all sorts of things, living their best life as snowmen. They ski, they lift weights, they teach school. Most of the ideas that I get from my ornaments come from my customers. They will email me and say, "Hey, my son is celebrating his 21st birthday. Is there a special ornament that you could do?" A lot of them weren't actually my ideas. I just brought them to life.
That is awesome. I've seen several. I've seen a lot of your ornaments. Of course, firefighters, police officers. One of my favorites. You've done some railroad themed ornaments, of course, which is very fitting for Metamora. You mentioned Christmas Walk, and let's talk about that for a minute. Isn't that just an incredible event?
It is one of my favorite times of the year. I love it when the town is all lit up and the little lights and the horse carriage is going through town and carolers are all over. It's just sort of magical. I mean, it's really magical if someone hasn't been here before during Christmas walk.
Absolutely. And folks, listeners, let me encourage you. If you've never been to Metamora for Christmas Walk, Jonna had the right phrase. It is absolutely magical. Thousands of lights, strolling carolers, horse-drawn carriages, all kinds of shopping. One of the things I love about Metamora and your shop, whether it's your brick and mortar store or your virtual store, really fits the spirit of Metamora, that it's a place you go to get something unique, isn't it?
Yes, all my ornaments, I hand paint every single one of them. I can personalize them and I can customize them too. A lot of times, I'll add like a pet or an extra little snowman for a kid or a family or just a special commemorative ornament.
Awesome. Since you've been around Metamora for a while, we've mentioned Christmas Walk, but what are some of your other favorite events, either in Metamora or in Franklin County in general?
Well, I love canal days because I love to go around and smell all the food. I'll just be honest. And also there's so many different people. Some people just come down on canal days. And since we've been here so long, people will come to our store to say hi. So it's like seeing, your old friend or whatever.
And
And then,
nowadays, it is another amazing event, and you hit on my favorite part about Canal Days. Everything from deep fried Snickers to hand breaded tenderloins. It's a wonder I can waddle out of Canal Days after the last day.
and I absolutely love the music fest that is in Metamora on Labor Day weekend, and also on the Saturdays when the music is at the Opry Barn.
Yes.
I love to go listen to all these amazing musicians and bands that swing through Metamora, and they just love to come here. So we have gotten so many just incredible musicians in the past few years that stop by, and we get the chance to really see them live and up close and personal, actually.
One of the things I love about the Opry Barn is it's a very intimate venue. You're not packed in like sardines with thousands of other people. And the performers really seem to love that. They love the fact that they can really connect kind of one on one with the audience. That's one of my favorite things about the Opry Barn. And Jana is a very talented photographer, which is no surprise as an artist. You post a lot of photos from the Whitewater Canal Trail, and I know that you, as well as I, think that is a huge asset for Franklin County. Can we talk a little bit about the trail? You really enjoy that, don't you?
I love walking the trail. I have walked all portions of it, not all on one day. I have been all over it. I love it. That's one of the reasons why I stay down here so much is I can go out, take my dogs, we can go out and hike 5 miles. They're tired, I'm tired, but we've had a wonderful time being out in the nature.
It is such a great asset for our county, and now we're seeing people come to Franklin County for the trail from, we see license plates in the trail parking lots from, Ohio and Kentucky and all over Indiana. It's really becoming quite the draw for our county. And I think it's been nothing but good for our county. And I think you probably agree.
Oh, absolutely. It's a great benefit to the town, to the county. We're getting more people in, like you said, just to come on the trail. And it goes right through Metamora. So people can stop off and get a little drink, browse through the stores, and continue on, just enjoying nature. I mean, it's just beautiful, especially in the fall. And when you're back among the trees back there, walking along the canal, you can see the ruins of some of the canal locks. It's just beautiful. I don't know where there really is another place that is so colorful.
It is
And
absolutely fantastic. And I'm always amazed at the amount of wildlife I see on the trail.
oh yeah, I always try to keep a little ticker of what I saw, and the birds. I'm trying to uh, learn bird calls so that I can become familiar. And it's a great place for that because it's quiet. You can see deer, a beaver down the canal, otters, bunnies. There's a lot of wildlife.
It is really amazing. So, folks, if you're looking for a nice place to walk or bring your bicycles, the trail is flat, even though our part of the state is relatively hilly. The trail is on a railroad bed, so there is not much grade at all on the trail. It's a great place to ride your bike, walk. Be sure and bring your camera or use the camera on your phone. Well, going back to your ornaments, your store, what's the name of your store there in Metamora, Jana?
It is Unique Creations / Shop Metamora. It was known as Unique Creations under my parents, and then I'm sort of changing the name to make it more my own, and it will be Shop Metamora.
Folks can contact you online through your website or through your email and say, I want a photo of my pet, or I want an ornament of a snowman policeman, or firefighter or school teacher. What is your website?
It's shopmetamora.com or theornamentgal.com.
And there are links on there, folks, where you can contact Jana directly and order your custom pieces, whether it's artwork, pet portraits, Christmas ornaments. I'll give a little disclaimer here. Jana is actually one of my favorite people in Franklin County. We just clicked right off the bat, and I count her as my little sister, even though we're not related by blood that we know of.
That we know. Yeah.
That we know of. And she does not only art, but she does a lot for the community. She's very involved in the music scene in Metamora, in the Opry Barn. She is always willing to lend a hand in setting up tents for festivals. And John, let me say personally, we are just so fortunate to have you as part of our community.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I just love it down here. It's a second home, or almost my first home now, and my regular home is my second home. But this is a great little place for the town, the walk, the trail, and all the people. It's a small town, so
Absolutely agree. So, folks, you can go to her website, and we'll put this in the show notes. That's shopmetamora.com or the ornamentgal.com. You can, I'm assuming, Johnny, you have samples of your work on those sites?
Yeah, all my ornaments are on there. They're in categories. So if you want something professional like a teacher or a doctor, you click on the professional. And then I have all sorts of sports ornaments, football, baseball. Your imagination is the limit because I also do a lot of custom work for people.
And I want to mention every one of these is handmade, correct? Nothing is mass produced.
Right, it's all. I hand paint all of them.
Awesome. Well, Jonna, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to visit, talk about your ornament, your artwork, the Whitewater Canal Trail, Franklin County, Metamora. We got a lot of fun stuff coming up. This weekend is the Metamora Music Festival. How excited about that are you?
Oh, I can't wait. I cannot wait. We got a lot of great acts that are going to be in several different stages through the town. So wherever you go, there's going to be music, and everybody needs to just sit a spell and listen to these musicians just share their talent with us.
Absolutely right. Then we've got a couple of week break with no big events. Then we've got the chicken fry off coming up in a couple of weeks in Brookville with Colonel Sanders himself going to be there. And then about a week after that, we're into Canal Days, which is the first full week of October. Lots going on here in Franklin County. Jonna Asher, the ornament gal herself, once again, thank you so much for spending time with me today.
Oh, thank you, Rick. It was a joy.
Well, that's a wrap with our interview with the Ornament Gal. What a great discussion we had. So appreciate Jonna taking time out of her day to come and visit with us. And once again, if you're an artisan in Franklin County, Indiana, we would love to hear your story. Reach out to us, and we will make it happen. Lots of fun stuff coming up with Metamora Music Festival, Chicken Fry-Off, Canal Days, Christmas Walk, and just so much more right here in Franklin County, Indiana. You can check our website anytime, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That's www.franklincountyin.com. See our full schedule, as well as lodging and dining and more. Don't forget to follow us on social media on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Until next week, we hope to see you experiencing Franklin County.